Hello, dolls. Hello, hello. I know it has been a while since I've gone live. So if you're watching the replay, we're going to get started around the 2 minute mark because I'm not going to do announcements. That's pretty much what this whole video is about is one long announcement and life update. But I do want to give us some time for people to join. So first things first, you already know when you come in here, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, but you like have meandered on my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and check it out to catch whatever I put up or whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, like I hope y'all have been doing well. Actually, let me go ahead and silence my phone while I'm at it. And I'm back. I'm back. And boy, do I have some things to tell y'all. Okay, it's going to get real tonight. It's going to be transparent. I mean, it's always, hey, Alexis. Hey, sis. It's always real. It's always transparent. But I'm going to just let it out. Like, I just want to update you guys on what's going on with me, the direction of the brand. Hey, sis. Hey, Jody. I'm glad that you're here. And just kind of what I'm thinking about and all that good stuff. So, hope y'all are doing well. Hope everybody is transitioning well. If you have kids with the back to school stuff, that is something that has got me in a chokehold right now. But like I said, all of that is going to be discussed tonight, and we're just going to go through everything that's been going on with me and what's going on with YouTube, what will be going on with YouTube, and just a whole nine. So in about 30 seconds, we're going to get started. Let me pull up my notes because even though we chilling, I still had to have notes and stuff like that. Happy to be on. Haven't been online in a while. I know, right? Like, I know I haven't been online in a while. I've been kind of like in and out. And, I just have been like, it's whatever. Like, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm not in the mood for it right now. And that's that. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you. And that's actually going to be part of what I'm talking about tonight, too, with just like creators block and such. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep y'all on here too long because you already know I ramble and all of that. So I do want to dive right in. But I do want to welcome you again. So, again, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, like, share this with somebody. And I wanted to do this life update because, like I did mention just now, I have been kind of in and out on my YouTube channel. Like, those who maybe knew I got monetized this year in January, and it was a long time coming and all that. And then it's like life just really happened. So I'm just gonna kind of like go through things, and then at the end I'll address the future of my channel, if there will be a future, what that future is gonna be looking like, all that, because I'm sure majority of you guys watching have probably clicked for that. Like, what in the world was going on? So first things first, that has been going on in my life is obviously Christian started school in August. And so those who don't know, I am a homeschool mom, but homeschool is like, there's so many ways to do it. So you got school at home and then there's homeschool. School at home is like, if your child is enrolled in an online academy, you're not teaching them yourself. They're just enrolled in the school online. The teachers, do everything like they would, is just at home. But Christian does homeschool. Like, that's where you're teaching them. And then they could go to a homeschool center where they have homeschool professionals, like professional homeschoolers that teach them either on a full-time schedule, part-time schedule. There's not many of those, I'll be honest. And then traditionally it's a homeschool co-op where they go and they get like their field day. That could be through a church, it could be through an organization locally, it could be just some homeschool parents that come together and say, we're going to do this co-op and work together. So if you're strong in science, you teach science. If you're strong in math, you teach math, that kind of thing. So I was homeschooling him myself without a co-op or anything like that, late last year into this year. And then he turned 5, obviously, last November. So he had to get enrolled in school. Once you hit 5, you got to get enrolled in school. Or if you're homeschooling, you report to the state and let them know that you have, they call it the Declaration of Intent, which I'll be sharing all this on his channel. He has a channel. It's in the description box. Check it out. Nothing's on it yet. And that you'll understand why, as I share this live update. But something will be on it. Okay, 2022 is not going to end and there's nothing on it. Like, there will be stuff on it. I document his homeschool journey. He is a special needs child. He has a speech delay, and I'm a single mom and I work for myself. So our life is not typical, and we live in a multi-generational home. So I don't live a typical life. And so I will be documenting all that vlogs on his channel, more vlogs over there and stuff like that. But needless to say, you fill out the Declaration of Intent and you let them know, the state know, I plan to homeschool my child. Hey, Yasmin. So that way they don't wonder, like, are you educating your child or not? Like, what's going on? And so, needless to say, I signed him up for the homeschool center because I wanted him to get around other kids on a schedule. Because I was taking him to the park, he was getting interaction with kids and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. It was working. I was seeing the progress and the development and whatnot in him. But I wanted it to be a schedule. Like, okay, these days you go, you're there, and then I get that time to myself. But let me tell you, those school days are not as liberating as people made it seem. Like I actually feel more restricted on those homeschool Saturdays than I do when we just do homeschool. Because hey Layla, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing good, sis. Hey Francis. I feel more restricted because it's like I have to get up and go and like make sure I'm back, to get him at a certain time. And it's just like go, go, go. And I just don't, the day goes so quick. By the time I drop him off, I'm back in the car picking him back up. So I actually really prefer the days where I teach him, but I do like the homeschool center as far as them collaborating with me on curriculum. So I don't have to come up with the curriculum myself and all that. So I do like that aspect. And there it's more so like, hey, like just work with him on this week and stuff. So it's more free flow in that sense for me, less stressful for me in that sense. But yeah, I like the days like Tuesdays and Thursdays where he goes to speech therapy and then I teach him, we go to the park, we do stuff like that's way more like lax. But Mondays and Wednesdays is like get up, go to the school, back home, got to do this, got to do that, got to be ready, got to go pick them up because those late fees rack up. Okay, you're not there on time and everything's electronic, so there's no beating the clock to say like, oh yeah, I've been here since 2:30, but the line was long. Like no, the system knows you picked them up at 2:34, so like it already is starting to tick and it's $1 per minute. So it's just like, the stress, and because I work for myself, it's easy to just like not necessarily have the clearest schedule. So needless to say, Christian's in homeschool center / homeschool at home, and he likes it. He has his best friends, Michael and Anaya. And those are, well, I feel like there's two Anayas at the school. I met an Anaya and another homeschool mom when the homeschool center like orientation week started. Haven't seen her since, but I have her number. I really should text her and just be like, hey, like, how are you doing? But the way my schedule, my life has been lately, I have been ghost. I'm like, I don't even want to text and then I fall off in the conversation because I'm really anal about that kind of stuff. Because I like to really just like respect people's time and whatnot and not like leave them hanging. But I get it, like life happens. But there's another Anaya, according to Christian, that is the school owner / principal's daughter. So I don't know how true that is because sometimes Christian be mixing up details. But apparently Anaya and Michael, I know Michael's the school owner / principal's son. Those are his best friends. So they're like three peas in a pod. Christian is Mr. Popular. Okay, like whenever I drop him off, the teachers are like, hey, Christian, or I should say tutors, they're like, hey, Christian, how are you? When I pick him up, like, he don't even want to leave. Like, he got to high five everybody. He got to hug everybody, including the staff. I'm just like, can we go now? Like, I'm on your time. You let me know if we can leave. But it's hilarious. They're just like, I open the door or they open the door. And then everyone's like, bye, Christian. And he's just like, I'm like, my child is a social butterfly, but he thrives in small environments. And that's another reason, too, why I decided to homeschool, because a lot of people, said like, oh, with the speech delay, you can't really do that and this and that. But you can, but like I said, I'll document all the details of that and that journey on his channel when I get my life together and I upload the videos I have. I have the videos. I just have to edit them and put them up. But I knew he would thrive in a small personal environment. He gets a lot of one-on-one attention. And it works. Between that and the therapy, he's in a rhythm, he's good. And then Fridays are kind of like our free flow days. Sometimes we do school all day. Sometimes I just brush up on stuff. The weekends, I try to keep the concepts flowing, and whatnot. So Christian's thriving. He's good, loving kindergarten, homeschool's coming along great. And it's a lot of pressure off of me. Another thing that has been going on, as you can see in the title, is I started a group for Christian single women. So if you've been watching my lives, I feel like I actually started announcing it in July, but I know definitely in August I started announcing it. So if you've been around since summertime, you probably like, yeah, like I remember you bringing that up. Also in the description box, feel free to check that out as well. I'm glad to, Yasmin. I'm like, that's such a big like burden off my shoulder. I wasn't sure how he was going to do it, even though it's a small environment. I was like, this is his first time like out of my sight for a whole day at a time. So it's just like, oh, okay, this is good. This is great. I like it. So I'm thinking about at some point getting him on the full-time schedule, but we'll see. We're just taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and whatnot. Cause yeah, it costs, it costs to do these things. But yeah, so I started the group for Christian single women. Now, mind you, this is something that honestly, if I was being obedient to when God told me, I would have started this in 2020, June 2020. But it was confirmed to me, it was prophesied over me, it was revealed to me in prayer, like all the confirmation, all the things, and I still was like, I'll get to it later. Like I just didn't want to be bothered with it. And I was like, I don't really know if I want to lead a whole community because that comes with a lot, but I'm already doing it on YouTube. But self doubt and things like that get in your mind. And so I was like, I don't know. And lo and behold, this year, God was like, no, like you need to do it. Like the proof just kept coming and coming and coming. And I kept meeting women in the same boat as me. And it was just like, yeah, like, okay, it's time to start it. So I started that. Secure the name. If you don't know, it's Single and Saved in the City. Like I said, check the description box. But so I, around the same time that Christian was like getting ramped up for school and all that, I was like securing the name, just researching like what all goes into doing like a community, a life group, and the business side of things. Like, what do I need to do? And I'm still kind of researching some things and still trying to like get my organizational structure and all the nitty gritty stuff that you really should take some time to do when you're starting a business, just so that you're not just kind of going with no direction. So I'm still kind of doing that. But I can say that the group has definitely been taking off, and it hasn't been a burden. It's been something that I really love doing. Like at this stage in my life in this season, honestly, I just feel like my gift and my grace for this period, but definitely in this season and this stage of life, I'm in my bag with that group. Like I love it. I love talking to women. I love planning events. I love just shooting the breeze and encourage. Like that is my alley. That's right up my alley. That's my bag. That's where I thrive. I love it. And I'm just like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like I was really beating myself up thinking like, no, there's no way you can manage this. But it's like, it's been, I'm not going to say a cakewalk. Like it takes work, but it's been easy hard work, if that makes sense. Like it's been stuff that I enjoy doing. And so started the Facebook group because that was another thing I was kind of between and betwixt about. I was like, do I want to do yet another Facebook group? Because you know how social media, okay, there's people driving down the street yelling out the window. I was like, what in the world is going on outside? But you know how you start something, or you're thinking about starting a Facebook group or whatever on social media, and you're like, do I really want to be another group, another page, another thing in the abyss, in the black hole of social media? Because I've seen really great Facebook groups that start great and the participation remains great. And then I've seen groups that they have their era and then it just falls off. And I'm like, I don't want this to just be another group that people are just like in, but they're not really like in it. Like this is deeper than that. It's a community. And thank you, Yasmin. I appreciate that. And I looked at other platforms and stuff, and I just landed on Facebook because I'm like, at the end of the day, I really didn't want to charge women to be a part of this community. Like, and no shade to people that do that. Like, everybody's mission is different. Everybody's vision is different. Everybody's audience is different. But I really didn't want there to be a paywall between women feeling like they could be in the group or not, because the whole heart of this started because I moved to Atlanta and I was super lonely, and I still am teetering and tottering in and out of loneliness. I'm not as lonely as I was, but I still don't have like super deep relationships yet. I'm working on it. Like we're on the verge of getting there, and if things stay well, it will get deep. But I also have been intentionally kind of just like I don't want to say secluding myself, because I'm not secluded. Like I'm going to church, I'm involved in stuff or whatnot, but I've been keeping a distance between myself, where it's like I don't want to get too enwrapped with relationships, because it's like I got so much stuff that I want to finally do. Like it really hit me this year that like, yo, you're about to be 34 in November. Like 40 is 6 years away. You need to get it together. Like there's like, yes, there's grace. Yes, there's time. Yes, we don't want to live in anxiety, but at the same time, you have to have a heart to heart with yourself and get real and say like, okay, where do I see myself in 5 to 10 years? How old will I be? How old will my child or children be if you have more than one child? Like what am I doing? What isn't working? What needs to work? And how do I need to fix this? And so I was just like, yeah, I really just want to keep myself kind of distant. And I didn't want to have a paywall there because I felt like that would keep people from joining. And the whole point of it, like I said, it started because I moved here, was super lonely for like 3 years. And I was like, I want to have a group of women that I could just go out with. Like they're in the same season of life as me. Cause there's a blessing in a variety of friendships. I'm not one of those people that feels like all your friends need to be mirroring you in their season of life, how they think, how they act, their background, all that. I don't feel like that's necessary. I think there's beauty in having a diversity in your friendships, but there is something very sweet and very special about having friends that are in the trenches with you. Like we're all in this same walk right now together. We're all going through this season. And so I was like, I just want that. And so I wouldn't find it. And when I would find pockets of it, it didn't feel aligned with me. It's like either they were just trying to turn up and go to the hookah lounge and stuff. Because Atlanta's a very big nightlife city. It's very big and partying and stuff. And trust me, in my 20s, I partied my brains out. Like I got that out by the age of 24, 25, got that out my system. We good. Like I'm not interested in that. No shade to those who do it, whatever. But that's just I'm not here for that. Or it was just like only faith-based, and I don't want to just only do religious and faith-based activities. Yes, that's a part of it, but I want to do like a variety of stuff. So I feel like it has been a crazy busy season. Like it really has been. Everybody I know is like really going through stuff or really just like pounding the pavement. Like, okay, it's time for me to do this. Got to do that. It's like balancing out of control. It has been super busy. And so after I hemmed and I hawed about it and I was like, what should I do? I just decided on Facebook because there are other platforms out there that, I can set a price. People can pay $10 a month to join, $20 a month, whatever. And it would create income, but I don't want people to say, man, like, I really wanted that sisterhood, but I can't afford it. Like, I just want you to come, enjoy. And then as we go out, you can pick and choose. Because one thing I'm not doing, I'm not paying for your way. I'm sorry, sis, I love you. But if we go into Dave & Buster's, you're going to have to buy your own, mozzarella sticks. You're going to have to pay for your own games. Like, it is what it is, unless someone comes and they decide to bless you or whatever. But I ain't got it like that. I ain't got it like that to pay everybody's way. Hey, Michelle. But I'm going to organize the events and in some cases create the events. And then you can decide like, okay, yeah, like I'll come to this. I could come to that or whatever. But I wanted people to at least get the sisterhood, at least get the support and whatnot. So I created the Facebook group in August, I believe. Yeah, it was August because I said I'll count that as my 1-year anniversary, even though technically I came up with the idea in July. And so I just started recruiting people. I just started inviting my single friends. I'm like, you single, get in here, girl. Like, you need a sisterhood. You want to be around me some more. Come on. And then I just started advertising it. At first, I wasn't going to do the Instagram page, and I thought about it. And Instagram is like the Walmart of social media. It's like, as much as I loathe Instagram a lot of the time, as much as I'm like, I'm tired of the updates. I'm tired of having to do this, that, and the third just to get some notice. I'm tired of the reels, the hashtag. I'm tired of all of that, the vanity metrics. It's like, I find myself right back there. Like Walmart is like that. Like I don't enjoy going to Walmart. I don't say like, yes, I want to get up and go to Walmart today. But I have to because it's still cheaper than Target at the end of the day. Like I gotta go to Walmart. Like, the parking lot's always crowded. It's always a long walk to the door. They have gotten better with the checkout now with self-checkout, but they're always switching the store layout around and they're always blocking the aisles with the boxes and the crates and stuff. But yet every week or every 2 weeks, I'm right back in Walmart. That's how Instagram is to me when it comes to social media. It's like, I don't want to be here, but yet I still got to be here because my audience is here. Because I was just on Facebook for like a good 2-3 weeks. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like I got to get back on Instagram, unfortunately. So I created the page. I made the announcement on my other page, my personal brand page. And I just kept trucking along. So both pages are growing well. The group is growing well, too. Now we have 17 women in the group. And more people are finding it, and I don't know how they're finding it. So that's a good thing. I don't know how you're finding it, but you're finding it. So that's good. That means it's getting outside of just my warm leads or my personal circle. And the public page is there. Again, all this is in the description box. If you want to, even if you're not single, you can like the public page. If you want to be a part of the private Facebook group, you do have to be single. And I do fact check, okay? Because I have had like 2 requests of people that I think are actually married, and I was like, I'm gonna have to go ahead and decline you. Because why am I seeing a husband in your in your profile picture. Like, no, I'm glad you're happily married, but this is not the group for you, you know? So yeah, the Facebook, the private Facebook group is for single women, but the page, like if you see the page, if you type in single and save in the city and it says page, you can like that, whether you're single or not. And then on Instagram, you can follow the page too if you're married. I have some married people on there that just like it. They follow so they can share the content and tag me easily and share it with their friends. So that's fine, you know. And like I said, I'm in my bag with that. So our first event is actually tomorrow. If you didn't register, registration closed 55 minutes ago, but it's a free event. It's a virtual mixer. I'm so excited about it. I have 3 giveaways. 2 of my friends are sponsoring the giveaways with their business, and they are going above and beyond what I even asked for. So I'm grateful for that. And then I'm giving a cash giveaway as well. So I'm just really excited. I more than doubled my attendee goal. I was like, I just want this number, and I more than doubled that. So praise God. Unfortunately, 1 or 2 of the women have to work, so they won't be able to attend. But you know, it's still something that I'm proud of. I beat that goal. I'm stretching my muscles. I'm learning more about Facebook ads. I'm learning more about Reels in the process, and I'm learning how to build a community because it's different than being a content creator and just like putting up your stuff and, you know, keeping it pushing. Like it's different when you're actually building a community. So I'm definitely learning some tricks of the trade that will come in handy for trainings and like mini courses I plan to, you know, offer in the future and things like that. And so that's great. And the reason too why I decided to do a virtual event first is because the group is not just for women in Atlanta. So that's another thing that kind of differentiates me. A lot of meetup groups or communities are centered around a location. And I get it. Like if you're going to meet up, a lot of times people just think, I just want to meet up with people near me. Like, you know, it's more convenient, it's easier. But this is not just something where I want to, you know, just have meetups in Atlanta. Like I plan for us to have retreat trips. I plan for us to have, you know, yearly conferences and things like that. So I didn't want it to just be women in Atlanta. I wanted to be single women everywhere, from the north, south, east, west. I don't care where you're from. If you got internet connection and access to a computer or a phone, like you can dial in. You know, even if you can't travel, you could definitely still meet people. Because my closest friends in the season of life, which is basically like all y'all in the chat right now, or like my faithful few, you know, that always show up. None of y'all live near me except for Michelle. Michelle's the only one that lives near me. Everybody else is in another state and city. So let that be a testimony to y'all who are watching maybe the replay or maybe even a silent watcher now or whatever. And you're like, dang, like I ain't got no friends. Like the internet is a blessing. Like, yes, I know we hear a lot of negativity about the internet and it can be toxic and draining and all of that. But at the same time, you could meet some really great friends on the internet that you would have never met if it wasn't for the internet. Like there's no way I would have known any of these women if it wasn't for YouTube and Instagram and stuff. Like I'm not just in their neighborhood. So, you know, use the internet for the positive that it's there for. And you never know, you can meet your best friend, your next business partner, you know, your next prayer warrior, whatever on the internet. And these people genuinely really care about you. So Layla, I'm with you. Said I'm happily married to a few celebrities I don't know I exist. So you can still join the group, girl. You still, you know, spiritual mental marriages don't count. So you can definitely join. You can definitely join the group. And yes, like, amen. Amen to that. I'm grateful for every single one of y'all because y'all don't even understand how you've helped me through the loneliest season of my life. Like, I'm not going to dwell on that because I'll be on here crying, snotting and everything. But, you know, there's no, like, you helped me through some really dark days. And being someone that struggles with anxiety, that means a lot because it just hits you like a ton of bricks. Like, you could really be in a good mood 1 minute and the next minute you're just down in the dumps and you're like, dang, how did I even get here? Like, how am I having an anxiety attack or whatever? And it'd be like the encouraging messages from you guys, whether it's on Instagram or a text or a YouTube comment or whatever, that truly have gotten me through some dark days. So I thank y'all. Thank God for y'all. And I'm really grateful for you guys in that way. And so, you know, that's why I decided to do virtual, because I'm like, I want women from everywhere. I don't care where you're at. Like, I want you to dial in, because if nothing else, I can help connect you with other women. I could literally like help you meet your next best friend or whatever. And that's really what it's about. It's not about just me. Like, yes, it was birthed out of my need and my pain and stuff, but I'm like, if I'm feeling this way, there's got to be other women in this season of life feeling the same way. Like, I just need to meet somebody. Like, I just need to meet somebody. Not everyone's a content creator. Not everyone's going to have a platform where they can say, oh, I met my friends on my channel or my Instagram. So, I'm like, I just want that. Like, if nothing else, I really would just love to have testimonies of women like, yeah, like I joined the group and I met my best friend or, whatever. And then maybe they can travel to a retreat or they could travel to a conference or something that I host and just meet each other and look forward to that. Even if nothing else, they know every year they're going to see that friend at that event or whatever. So, that's why it's virtual. It won't be the last. I don't know how often I'm going to do the virtual mixers. Just from loose brainstorming I've done recently, I'm thinking it'll end up being like every 2 to 3 months, just about. It really just depends on other stuff that I have planned. Because as I start planning in-person meetups and other stuff is happening in my life, it would depend on availability and just what I think is best. Because I also don't want it to be a burden, like, time away from family during the holidays and stuff. So we'll see. But I know so far, I believe I have one planned for December after this. So, we'll just play it by ear and see, but definitely tap into the group and because you'll get the newsletter if you're in the group. But if nothing else, like the page and stuff, just so you can stay abreast of what's going on. So that's the Single Women's Group. Absolutely love it. Super grateful for everybody in there and everybody spreading the word. Glory to God. Yes, nothing but God says. I'm so happy too. I was shocked because one day I had like a surge in people reserving the tickets. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I started seeing like names I've never seen before. So I was like, that's literally nothing but God. God will definitely do it. Sorry, this is my clean the kitchen time, so I can't respond. It's all good. I know you're here. I know, like, we right here. You here in spirit. Giving me all the encouragement, affirmation, like you always do. So I appreciate that. But that's a Single Women's Group, and so what else is going on with me? So as I started the Single Women's Group, and I'm like, yes, like this is amazing. I'm starting this community, Christians in school, things are flowing, we're surviving. Because like I said, I was in a chokehold. I still kind of am in a chokehold with the schedule, but we're trucking along, So I'm like, I want this to be an all-encompassing community. Like, I want to be that one-stop shop. I want you to come get the sisterhood, get the affirmations, get the encouragement, get the training, because like I said, I do plan to offer like little mini courses that are easily accessible, easily affordable, just stuff that teaches you stuff you can like literally consume it quickly, get the information you need and apply it to your business or your life or whatever area it's, effective for. And I was like, there are other things I want to do. So something that also was confirmed to me in 2020 that I was disobedient about as far as timing and actually doing was starting a t-shirt line. And the same person that really put the fire in me to start the women's group, which I don't know if I told this testimony before. I know I told it on Molly's channel because she actually has an interview coming out next week with me on it. We had so much fun talking, y'all. Like, we talked for hours after that interview. I was like, girl, we gotta go because it's about to be dinner time. We sit here talking and we got children to feed. What are we doing? But it was so much fun talking to her and on that interview. I'll share the link when it comes out on my channel, my pages and all that good stuff. And she'll share it too. Make sure you're subscribed to her channel, Molly's Story. But yeah, so I was talking to her. Where was I going with this? I was saying something. I lost my train of thought. Well, oh, right, the testimony. I told you I'd be rambling. So I was sharing the testimony of how these things came about because she asked in the interview how did I come up with the group and whatnot and all these things I have planned. And so in 2020, June 2020, this lady reached out to me to do an interview with her nonprofit. She lives in Miami and her nonprofit is called Call to Greatness. And it's just about empowering women, to get closer to Christ, also sisterhood. And she really focuses on like self-improvement and things like that. And just, there's another area she really focuses on, but you get the gist. And so she reached out to me on Instagram and she was like, hey, can you do an interview with me? And like a recorded interview video for her YouTube channel, but then also audio, because I believe she has a podcast, don't quote me. And so I was like, yeah, for sure, let's do it. And so we were in the Zoom doing the recording, and then in the middle of the recording, she literally stops as I'm about to like go in, like I'm talking, right? Because you know me, I'm talking. Nothing else, I'm talking. And she just stops and she was like, I don't know why, but I feel the Holy Spirit telling me that you need to start a group for single women. mind you, I don't know this woman from a can of paint. We never engaged beyond her reaching out to me in the DMs. I literally met her when she reached out to me in the DMs. Didn't know me from Adam. I don't know her. We have no mutual friends, nothing. And so I never told her this. And she just, but this was stuff that was like in my prayer journal. Like I was feeling God was leading me to stuff. I thought it was coaching, which is why I started coaching in that year. And I believe it was for that year, but I don't believe it was for long term. You know, I believe God wanted me to do more consulting, which I still offer, but I've tabled for now so I can focus on this community. But needless to say, I thought it was gonna be the end all be all with the coaching. I didn't realize it was the community and the t-shirt line, but she was like, I feel like the Holy Spirit's telling me to tell you that you need to start a community, mentoring and helping single women, particularly single moms. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to offer products like little journals, t-shirts, whatever. And she's just like going off, right? And mind you, like I said, this is all stuff that I've prayed and I've written down in my prayer journal. So she's reaffirming the prayers that I prayed to God and written in my prayer journal, and she does not know me from a can of paint. We didn't have a conversation, nothing. Like that was my first experience like that, where it was like Holy Spirit blew my mind, showed up and was like, yeah, God heard you, and this is what he's saying to do through another vessel, another human. And so I was like, that is so crazy. So I'm floored, right? Like she's talking and I'm taking notes because I'm like, wait a minute, this is divine insight. I was like, wait, what did Holy Spirit tell you to tell me? Like, run that back. Let me make sure I write this down because I don't know when we're gonna talk again. So she's repeating everything. I'm writing it down. And then when she was done, I was like, I literally prayed about this for the last 2 weeks. I felt this unction, this yearning to do something affecting a community, but I didn't know what it was. And she was like, that's it. That's what you need to do. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I started praying on it. God at the time, like I said, told me to coach, which I have had success stories. I helped my clients at that time with that now retired coaching program. Praise God for it. I'm grateful for that season, all that good stuff. Hey Shay, I'm glad that you are here, and that is totally okay that you will watch the replay. Thanks for stopping in. And okay, it's a confirmation for me, sis. Hey Michelle. Oh, I'm glad that you're here. Yes, folding clothes. I'm here for that. And yes, I'm excited about the group. I wish I could join, but I know, right? You missed it by a hair. You missed it by a hair. If I was obedient, you would have had like a good year and some change, a good hoorah in there. But here we are. And so I was just like, okay, I did the coaching, all that was great. But then God was like, okay, close that chapter. Then he was like, start consulting. Did good with that, did a couple boot camps, had some, live training classes, some mini courses. And then it was like, okay, it's time to table that, not to stop it altogether. Like the coaching, God was very much like, okay, stop that. Like, I don't know. He might tell me to do it again in the future. Who knows? But the consulting, it was like, no, like just put that to the back burner, like table that for now. Cause I got other stuff I need you to do. And so fast forward to this year when all this confirmation is coming back, all this affirmation, I'm remembering all this stuff that was spoken over me, that was confirming my prayers. I'm just like, okay, this is crazy. Like, this is what that lady said in 2020. Wow, this is also what was confirmed in 2020. And so needless to say, as the group got settled, I was like, okay, I want to expand to be in a one-stop shop. Like I said, I want women to come get the affirmation, get the sisterhood, the community, the training, but also have products that can build just a sense of camaraderie. Like it's something when you have some sort of memorabilia from a group that you're a part of, or just an organization or whatever. Like it just builds another level of togetherness and like what's the word I'm looking for? Like being able to be recognized, basically. Like, yeah, this is our stamp. Like this is how you know that Single and Saved the City was here, basically. And so I was like, God, okay, I think I'm ready to start those t-shirts. Like, but what do I want to do? So God has been he's always spoken to me in dreams. But when I tell you the last like 2-3 months, God has been coming for my dreams. Okay. Like I have been having very vivid, I would say downright prophetic dreams, to the point where I wake up and I'm journaling details like it's a movie. My dreams are a movie, and I'm seeing so many familiar faces in my dreams. I'm not gonna start dropping names, but I'm seeing so many familiar faces, and I'm also seeing unfamiliar faces but familiar spirits. And I don't want to get too deep into all of that, but sometimes when you see someone in your dreams, it's not them that's the dream is about. They represent a spirit, or they represent something else in that dream. Like I said, I don't want to get too deep into that because that's a whole nother like training series, all that kind of stuff. But needless to say, God has been speaking, and he's been telling me some good things. He's been telling me some bad things. He's been telling me some things that are indifferent and just some things to watch out for, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm writing down stuff. And, one night I'm just like, okay, God, this is the night where I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to do the t-shirt line, but like, what should it be? And so I go to sleep and just these phrases start coming in my mind, like just flashing across the dream as other stuff's going on. Cause like I said, the dreams are kind of like a movie. And so I'm just like, wow, okay. So I wake up and the dream, and that dream in particular ended weird. Like it ended on a cliffhanger. But I woke up and I instantly started jotting down the phrases and stuff. And so I'm not going to reveal it yet. Okay. If you want to know the phrases, you got to join the newsletter because I share all the tea with my newsletter. I'm more intimate in my newsletters and like my private settings versus like the worldwide web, because anybody could pass through here and hear it and stuff. I want people that are really like intentional and actually really care about me and my brand to know the details. So join the newsletter. It's free, goes out on the 1st or 15th of every month, but y'all will be seeing the previews. I'll even be asking y'all like, which one should I release first and all that. Like it's gonna, I want you guys to like be engaged there. And it's not just for single women either, so you don't have to think like, oh man, I'm not a part of the group, because I know I mentioned like it came about because of the group, but it's not just for single women. So it is for women though. So my bad to my brothers in Christ that watch my channel and support my brand. Maybe down the road I'll get y'all some t-shirts, but if you want t-shirts, you gotta bring some more men to support, because I'm not gonna release a t-shirt line for 3 men. I'm sorry, like I'm not doing it. So if you want some of the love, you're gonna have to share with your brothers in Christ and just be like, yeah, support these t-shirts, man, or whatever. But they are for women, I will say that. But it's not just for single women. It's stuff that can apply to you no matter what your relationship status is. But I wrote down the statements, and I have 5 that I really like. A possible 6th one, but I don't know, because when I researched it, there were a lot of t-shirts with that already. So I don't know if I'll necessarily do that. But I know I have 5 sayings that I'm super ecstatic about. And like I said in the newsletter, I'll ask you guys to vote and stuff. So now I'm in the process of researching what platform I want to use, because I didn't realize there were so many t-shirt manufacturers and so many ways you could go about it. I knew for a fact I didn't want to keep inventory, because one thing I don't have time for is going to the post office and shipping off packages. I don't have time for it. Okay. We tried it with my mom's brand when she started those totes, and we had to table that because we realized that we miscalculated shipping and stuff like that. And so she actually ended up losing some money on some of the first few bags she mailed out. So we tabled that. We still have some bags, but I told her we'll probably sell those locally, like at pop-up shops and things like that. But for her future of her brand too, I'm thinking that I'm also going to do drop shipping, because that's pretty much what I've landed on. Because I'm like, I don't want inventory. One, I don't have the space. I don't want the stress of keeping up with it. And I also don't want to have to go shipping stuff off. And I also don't want something that's like someone else is completely doing all the work. Like I'm just giving them the phrases and they're designing it. I don't want that. Like I want to design my shirts, and you can do that on Canva. I have Canva Pro, so that's even better. I want to be in the process. I just don't want to have to handle all the behind the scenes and all of that. So drop shipping is the way I'm going. And from what I've seen, this is information for those of you out there who might actually be thinking of doing t-shirts too. From my research that I've been doing, I've only been researching like a week and a half, y'all. So I'm no expert on manufacturers of t-shirts or nothing. So, I'll just share it as I learn. But from what I've seen so far, Shopify is a really good platform. They actually have an affordable plan that's $5 a month. Like if you have a content creator account already, or a brand or whatever, and you just want to test out selling some products, I think that's a great way to go. And then if you see that it's actually working, you could go up to their $29 a month plan. I think it is. So far, that seems to be the best as far as just having an e-commerce presence, having the drop shipping capability, having the ability to design and put your design in. Another good one that I've heard about, or 2 good ones, are Printful. Wait, is it Printful or Printful? I think it's Printful and Printify. Yeah, I think it's Printful, Print F-U-L, and Printify, Print I-F-Y. Those are 2 comparable ones. Those are not like Shopify. They don't give you a website, I don't think. Don't quote me, because I haven't looked at their websites yet. I think you have to have your own domain, but those are the drop shippers. The only difference is that Printful, you're working directly with the t-shirt manufacturer. Printify, I hope I'm not mixing them up, but Printify, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the middleman. So Printify is almost like Uber Eats of t-shirts, where it's like they are the middleman. They pair you with multiple manufacturers and you choose which one you want for the design. Whereas it's like a marketplace, whereas Printful, you're working with the manufacturer. And I believe Printful is more local manufacturers. Printify is global manufacturers. But I could, like I said, I could be mixing up the names, but just look them both up if you're interested. And it's not bad, but like I said, for those two, you will have to have a website from what I've seen and heard, and you will have to have more investment out front. They also do drop shipping for more than just t-shirts. You could do mugs, you could do bags, you could do caps. It's like so many different things. But for me, I'm just doing t-shirts. Who knows if I'll expand in the future. Hey, Alicia. Yep, $5. Check out Shopify. They just came out with this like less than a month ago or something. It's a upgrade to what used to be their light plan. The light plan used to be $9 a month. This is an upgrade to that. And according to people that have been in the game for a while, they say it's better because it has more like usable functions and stuff. So check it out. It looks like it's here to stay. It doesn't look like they're running running it as a sale or anything. So I would check that out if you've been trying to launch t-shirts or whatever. So I love the newsletters. I'm glad you do. And I'm glad you have a chance to read them. I was mad for like a month and a half. I know. What? They were going to your personal account? That's so random. What? They can give a gift to a woman in their lives. Yeah. The shipping is very real. Goldman Sachs mentor swore by Shopify. Yeah, like a lot of people in the industry love Shopify. A lot of the websites that I've supported in the past, I've been going back to them and scrolling to the bottom to see who's hosting their website, and it says powered by Shopify. So I feel like Shopify is the way to go. But like I said, you can do Shopify. I think actually you can link Shopify and Printful and Printful and Printify. I keep mixing up the names. I think you can link them, but just look them up. Look up Printify, Printify, Printful, and Shopify. Compare, see what's best for you. But hands down, those seem to be number one in the game. And the popular shirts right now, dang, I forgot the name. It's like something 3100. It's some shirt that has 3100 in it. That's the popular shirt in the industry right now. But like I said, as I find out stuff, I'll share it. Maybe create a checklist and share it out or something like that. Because I'm finding stuff out. And everyone has different needs. But if you're starting out, I highly suggest a startup plan. I'm thinking that's what I'm leaning towards. All of that to say that, the t-shirts will definitely be launched before the end of the year, Lord willing. Everything goes well. I already have designs in mind. I've been saving designs. I've been playing around in Canva. I've been researching, like I said, what t-shirt brand is the best, which manufacturers have the best reviews, et cetera, and just making sure that I don't have to have anything specific in place. Because I know last year when I was trying to set up my mom's Shopify, they said that there was certain business documentation needed that my mom didn't quite have at the time. So that's what kept us too from doing Shopify. And we went with the Square website, which was cool, but it doesn't give you the shipping integration to make sure that you count that in, which can mess you up if you're actually doing the shipping. But I didn't realize we could have done drop shipping. So I highly suggest drop shipping too, if you don't want to have to design it yourself and all that and ship it out. Highly suggest it, honestly. But you can add your own touch too with some of these companies. You can add the hang tag, you can add an inside tag, you can add business cards, you can add a thank you note, you can add whatever. Of course, it's going to take from your profit. But again, I'll share more about that because I've been learning a lot just about the profit margins, how you should price, et cetera, et cetera. But so t-shirts coming out, whoop, whoop, get it, hopefully in time so you can get one for Christmas, gift one to your mama, your auntie, your cousin, and them. And just, give them a t-shirt. Give them a t-shirt, to affirm them, to give them some swag. Y'all could be matching. Y'all could take a photo shoot, be wearing your new t-shirt. You could wear it to church. You could wear it to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cute. You can wear it to the store. It's a vibe. It's going to be a whole vibe. So I'm excited because if you know me, you know I love t-shirts. I mean, I'm wearing one now. And best believe, I don't want to hear nothing when my t-shirts come out because y'all only going to see me in my t-shirts. Like, I'm not wearing nothing else, okay? Unless you have a clothing brand and you're my friend, I'll support you and wear your stuff too. But if you're not my friend and you don't have a clothing brand, sorry, it's going to be my brand, period. You're going to see me at the park with it. You're going to see me homeschooling with it. You're going to see me at church in it. You're going to see me doing YouTube with it. You're going to see me at the beach with it. You're going to see me washing the car with it. I'm going to be in my shirt all day long. And I'm going to have enough variety that I legit can wear it every day of the week. Like, how Simon Cowell always wear that black shirt and the light wash jeans? That's going to be my uniform. Like, y'all going to be like, if she don't take that shirt off, and I won't, okay? You need to get you one. That's the problem. You don't have one. We could have been matching. We could have been here, but we're not here because you don't have the t-shirt. So just keep up with that. Join the newsletter if you want to help me pick which one to launch first and colors and all that good stuff, designs. Because I really would like to have you guys involved in the launching process. I think it's fun when like we do something together and then we see it come to life together. It's like, it actually happened. So yeah, definitely join the newsletter down below. Walking billboard, period. Okay. Because I'm on these streets a lot. Okay. I'm doing Uber Eats. I'm here. I'm there. I'm everywhere. Like, I'm running across people and people love these shirts. Okay. From Five Below, they might as well be complimenting me on my shirts and be like, oh, I love your shirt. Where'd you get it? Bam. Here, take a business card. Check it out. So that's coming out. And then from there, we'll see. Like I said, I have some ideas of other types of merch, but I don't want to spread myself too thin and launch too much at the same time. Plus, it takes money to make money. So, yeah, we're going to start with one thing, and then we're going to go from there and just keep it pushing. So, we're opening up a store. Oh, no problem, sis. I'm glad that you even have me on as you're doing homework. But online store will be opened up. I will say, though, that there will be digital products. So even though physical merch is just going to start with the t-shirts, and then over the months and stuff, I'll evaluate, see if it's good timing for me to launch something else or whatever. There will be digital products. So that's another thing, too. I'm trying to figure out if I want to launch digital products on the same site that I do my t-shirts on, or if I want to just do it through Flowdesk. Because if you don't know, this is another thing for y'all that don't have Flowdesk, or maybe you have it, they just launched checkouts. So I know it supports digital products. They invited me to attend a webinar next Thursday. So I'm going to attend that to get more information to find out if it will support physical products, because that can be a game changer depending, on which side I choose and whatnot. But I know for a fact it supports digital just from what I've seen, me playing around with the thing and whatnot. So if you currently are on Flowdesk, you can upgrade to, you can basically pay $29.50 a month for regular email and the checkout feature, which I think is a steal. Okay, I got into Flowdesk email on a sale last year. So instead of paying $38 a month, I pay $19 a month when we do it. And that's lifetime as long as I keep it recent. And basically I could pay $10 more a month and get the checkout feature too, which I'm going to do because I'm like, why not? If all those fails, it's there, it's locked in, it's not going to hurt me. And if you're not on Flowdesk, it's a great time to get in and have that feature because it lets you check out and do sales right from your email list. So you don't have to like integrate with another site and do this and do that. It's literally like in there. It's built in there. So you can send an email, the checkouts right there with your products linked, inventory counted, all that good stuff. So I would look into it. I'm glad you can't wait for the merch. I'm so excited. Y'all, so excited. So excited about it. So, digital products will be available. I'm actually going to have my first mini course on email sales funnels. I think I wrote it down for next month, October. And how it's going to work is I will do the courses, the lives in the group. They'll be up for a short amount of time, and then I'll take it down and put it on the site for, like I said, these courses are going to be cheap. It's not going to be anything that's going to break the bank, but it'll be on the site for you to purchase, and that'll be for everybody. That'll be for everybody to buy, so that way you don't have to be like, dang it, I'm not in the group, I can't get the info. Like, no. Once it's on the site, you can choose whichever one you want and call it a day. Hey, Relina, I'm glad you're here, sis, and thank you. I'm so happy that you joined, and thank you for the encouragement, all of that. Love you, sis. So that's that. So we talked about the group, we talked about Christian, we talked about merch. Podcasting, because that's something else that was in the title. So my juices are flowing, my creative juices are going. I'm just like, yeah, I got the group, I'm doing merch, we going. Like, yes, God's giving me this fresh fire. I'm excited. I got my zest back, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, for a while it was just like one of the mills, just kind of like, let me do this YouTube video. Let me send this newsletter. Like, it's just like, you're just going with the flow. And I'm going to get to that in a second when it comes to my YouTube journey and stuff like that. But I got my fire back. Like, I'm back passionate. I'm excited again. I'm not just doing stuff just for the commitment of it. I'm actually showing up excited to do it. And like, yes, I got so many ideas. And so I started thinking about podcasting, because I started, now that like I'm enwrapped in this group and the merch and stuff, I'm looking at my YouTube, and my YouTube is on struggle mode. I'm gonna get into the details in a second, and then I'm not really showing up on my YouTube, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I have wanted to start podcasting, but I don't know. Because one thing about me is I don't want to bite off more than I could chew. I know sometimes people say, like, just jump out there, just start it. But your girl be tired, okay? You gotta be tired. I'm very realistic about what I can handle. And I understand time is of the essence. Like I said at the beginning of this live, it hit me that I'm literally coming upon 40 faster than I thought. But at the same time, it's like there's still so much life ahead of me. So it's like a very real balance between, like, let me not procrastinate and just be like, oh, I got tomorrow, I got next week, I got next year, because tomorrow isn't promised. So it's like, let me make the most of today. Let me take the most advantage of the hours and the minutes I got right now. But at the same time, let me not live in fear that I won't make it to tomorrow, that it's like, oh, I got to do everything right now. Like, I don't take time to actually really weigh the pros and cons, to really make sure that that's what God's leading me to do, to make sure it's the right time. Sometimes he gives you an idea and it's not for this season. It's just for the season that's going to come in the future or whatever. So, it's a constant balance, a constant struggle every day to not go too far to either side. But I finally reached a point where I was like, maybe I should start podcasting, like, honestly, because at this point, I'm like wrestling with the YouTube. I'm in my bag with the group. And I'm just like, so, and then too, a lot of people started coming back up to me again. And whether they knew me or not, and just being like, you should have a podcast. You should have a podcast. You would do great with a podcast. Have you started? And I'm just like, okay, God, like, he talks to me in dreams, but he talks to me through other people and in repetition too. Like, he will send several people to say the same thing to me over and over and over and over again, to the point where I'm like, okay, like, I got it. Okay, I got it. Sis, 40 is like 6 years is not that long. When you think about it, like, you realize I know I'm being dramatic, but it's like, seriously, like, it dawned on me the other day, like, 6 years is gonna go by quick. Time be flying when you get older. Like, we're already at the end of the year. We were just celebrating our monetization in January. We about to be saying Merry Christmas. Like, just, it's like, where did the time go? Like, where is the time going? Literally, And then I think it just hit me too, because I'm looking at Christian. I'm just like, wow, like, he's really getting big. Like, life is getting real now, And then for me too, like, it's more, and I'm not saying it's not like real for everybody, but I'm nowhere near where I should be at my age. If I'm keeping it a buck with y'all, this is the stuff that influencers won't tell you. Like, at my age, I should not be where I'm at. Like, and I'm not gonna get so real to where I'm like telling you credit scores and all of that, but just know, like, this is not a good look. So it's just like, I need to be in a much, much better place. And it's just like, yeah, like, this ain't it. So I think that for me is also why it's like, oh my gosh, like, time, because I'm catching up. Like, I've regressed. If I'm, again, keeping it a buck with y'all, I've regressed. 10 years ago, I was in a totally better, much stable place. And now in my mid 30s, it's like, girl, like, you going backwards. You're pedaling, you're pedaling backwards, and it's like, yeah, to God be the glory. But again, I think that we all just need to get to a point where, whatever area it is, whether it's your career, your business, your marriage, your friendships, your health, whatever, where you just have a real heart to heart with yourself, and you don't sugarcoat it, and you don't, like, try to just look at the bright side, where you can look at the grim side and say, you know what, that's not good, and this is how I'm going to change that. Like, I'm not going to stay here, because staying here and playing myself is going to keep me pedaling backwards. But if I'm real with myself, and it's like, this is not okay at my age, and or for whatever I'm doing as a mom, as a woman of God, or whatever the area is, this is not okay, and this is how I need to rectify that. Then you could actually, like, see that change that you need to see. And so, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, I've had that, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not saying it like, oh, pity me, but it's just like, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. And I know we've had our talks, and you could definitely relate to some of what I'm saying, but it's like, I know better, and I have a glimpse of how to get there, and with God's help and just continuing to grow and stuff, I'll get there. Like, I'm not okay just being here and resting in that. Like, I got to do better. And it's just, that's what we on right now. That's what we on. God can and will change things overnight. Hello, somebody. Come on now. It will go fast, and I'm pumped about 40. However, I know so many things are going to happen before. Oh, yeah. Like, 6 years, a lot's going to happen for all of us in 6 years. A lot has happened in my first 4 years of my 30s, where it's just like, whew, man. Because I moved down here when I was 30. Was I 30? Yeah. And then I turned 31 when I got here. So yeah, like a lot. Wow, that is crazy. I started my 30s in transformation. Like I didn't even really think about that. Like I started a whole new decade in transformation. That's crazy. It's a great, it's where God ordained for you to be. And he did, no better place than in his will. Amen. That's true. It's easy to tell you these things, but I have to constantly remind myself to receive. I know, right? Like we can minister to other people all day, but when it comes to us, it's like, oh, child, like let me do better. Yes, amen to growth. You're younger than me, though, right? Yeah, just by a few months. But you're already on the other side, so you can impart some wisdom to me. Yeah, my birthday is November 28th. So, and that's something else I'm gonna talk about too tonight, which I had briefly wrote down in my notes. So, what was I talking about before I went off course? Um, Oh, right, podcasting, right. So I'm thinking about all that, and it's like all these people keep talking to me and bringing it up, and I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and look into it because I always hear people mentioning Anchor, and then I know there's a few others, but I'm like, let me just download Anchor and see what it's about. I didn't even know it was attached to Spotify, like Spotify owned it. I'm late to the party, but because I'm a Spotify user, I don't have Apple. Don't judge me, okay? I love my Android. I'm not getting an Apple, so don't freak it up. I'm saying that now, and then a couple months or a year, I'm gonna have an Apple phone, and y'all gonna document that I said I'm not getting one on this night. But needless to say, I'm just like, I didn't even know that. So I didn't, and I also didn't realize that it has earning potential too. I just thought, okay, it's a free app. That's great. Like, because for me, I know podcasts can be a business, but I always just viewed it as like, this is gonna be my safe space to just talk about all kinds of things. Because the problem with the platform like YouTube is they penalize you for being too all over the place. Because there's so many things I want to address, but it's like the minute you get off from whatever your niche and your brand is, it's like it hurts you more than it helps. I know some channels where it helps them, but I don't know if it's maybe when you join the platform or what. But I find for me, if I get too all over the place, it hurts me more than it helps. And so I feel like podcasting gives you that freedom to be like kind of eclectic and like talk about this today, talk about that tomorrow. I know some people are very niche in their podcast too, which is great as well, because sometimes people just want to come for a certain bit of information. That's it. But I also know a lot of podcasts that are so diverse and eclectic and do well. So I think podcasting gives you that room. And I was like, I'm going to start it. Like, I'm going to start it. And my initial thought, I might as well go into the YouTube thing now because these are kind of intertwined. My initial thought was I'm not going to keep doing YouTube. I'm just going to podcast because honestly, like I told y'all, I started the year on a high with YouTube. I got monetized after 27 months of working, toiling, blood, sweat, and tears, begging at one point people to subscribe because I'm like, y'all here watching, you might as well. And the year started off great. And then like around, I want to say, you know what? The year started off great. And then I started bringing on series. So the series naturally with the guests naturally grow your channel because you have other people promoting your channel too. Like obviously the special guests are going to put it on their platform, share with their people. So I think I started the series in March, if I'm not mistaken. March was good. April was good. May was good too. And then after May, did I have series in June? I think I had like one or two guests. I can't remember. It was okay, but it started to teeter because now I guess YouTube was picking me up as like, oh, she's, like a guest channel. Like she's got these guests coming on or whatever. And I didn't really have guests for June. I had one. I feel like that's the month Veronica came on, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. It's all a blur, but I know she came on sometime in the summer. And then July, I started kind of teetering off because at that point, I'm like focused on getting Christian in school because I had to pinpoint where I was going to partner with for the homeschool and whatnot. And then I was just uninspired because it's like, even with the series did pretty good considering the other videos that I've now archived that were like on serious struggle, like struggle beyond belief. But I feel like they were not doing as good as they should have done, given my audience size, given the work that I was putting in, and given the fact that these people were actually promoting. Like I wanted it to not only benefit me, but I really wanted it to benefit the women who came on my channel. And I just felt like YouTube was giving me the shorter end of the stick, and I was tired of it. Like I was so tired of it. And I'm just like, I'm showing up. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then on top of that, it's like the lives were getting dry. If it wasn't a guest, it was just like, it was super dry. And, yes, we come on here to talk and encourage and all that. But like I said, this is a season in my life where I need to be in my bag. I need to be about things that are moving the needle forward. And so when I'm coming and even the faithful few can't even make it like that because they got stuff going on. They got they got a life. And I'm on here and it's just like the engagement is low. People and watching the replays. It's just like, why am I here? I'm literally talking to the air. There's no there's no point in me being here because no one's receiving it. Like, and if I'm gonna come on here and talk, I want people to receive it. And then on top of that, like I said, I just wasn't inspired. So all of that was affecting my inspiration. It was affecting my motivation. And it was just like, again, I don't want to make it seem like it's all about the money, but I'm also trying to keep it very realistic with y'all and very honest. Like, I need to be in my bag. I desperately need to be in my bag. Like, and I'm trying not to be so transparent to where I put all my business on Front Street, but just know, like, it's serious, and it's dire. And so I was just looking at it. I'm like, okay, I'm showing up. This is time away from me working because this is still like when I start these lives, it's still kind of prime time. Because I try to start it late enough to where it's like, okay, I'm missing some of my prime time work hours, but it's not affecting me too much. But I couldn't do it earlier because that's definitely prime time. But then it affects the rest of my day because it's like I gotta get out, come back. It's like it literally affects how I feed my family. And so I'm looking, I'm like, if people ain't even showing up, then why am I here? So I started canceling it. And then I would feel guilty for canceling it and be like, okay, let me show up. But then I'm showing up just to show up and I'm not inspired. And it's just like, it was a vicious cycle. And so I really was going to quit YouTube because I'm just like, maybe, and I was going to quit. At first I was going to quit altogether, like just gone, done, no presence to me on YouTube whatsoever. Then I know other people that are good friends of mine who had gotten monetized and like say their channel got hacked or something, because sometimes that affects engagement too. Like if it gets hacked by certain bots or whatever and they affect your engagement. And so because their channel engagement got affected so bad by the bots or what have you, they literally just like, they didn't delete that old channel, but they just like forgot about it. Like they just stopped uploading to that old channel and they created a new channel and built that back up. So that was my second thought. I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't just completely disappear from YouTube. Maybe I should just start a whole new channel. And then I was like, do I want to rebuild a whole audience? Because honestly too, I know Think Media has talked about this too, where it's like, sometimes your audience just changes. Like you're in a different season, your audience followed you for one reason, their reason is no longer needed. They've evolved in life, you've evolved, and you're just no longer compatible. It's like a relationship that you outgrow, and it's no beef. It's not like, oh, I don't like you anymore, whatever, but they just don't need your content anymore. Like they're not there. And I never really thought about it from that standpoint, because when you're actually the creator, you're just thinking, I need to hit these milestones, I need to get this, I need to be seeing the money, especially if this is your business. Like, let's be real, business needs money, otherwise it's not a business. You can't claim it on your taxes. Like, these are the real conversations we don't want to have. And so I'm just like, I never thought about it like that, because even when I think about it from my standpoint of just being a YouTube viewer, there were channels that this time last year I was binging. I mean, would they put out something, I was on it, notifications on, I'm commenting, I'm liking, I'm consuming, I'm binging it while I'm working. And now a year later, I'm barely watching their content because it's just like, I'm not there anymore. Like, I still love them. From time to time, I'll pop in their channel, be like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so's doing. I wonder if they put up a new video, but I'm just not in that space where I care to consume their content like that. And so I'm like, I didn't even think about that, because that's very true. And so knowing the history of my channel, when I started my channel, this actually started as a lifestyle vlog channel. I was going to show like my single motherhood journey, and basically not all of the things, but some of the things that are going to be on Christian's channel, I was going to show here. And it was going to be like showing my hair and makeup and like, giving recommendations for stuff and whatnot. And then I realized, like, I love hair, y'all. I come on here with a different hairstyle like every week. I love hair. I love makeup. I love home decor. I love these things, but I don't love any of it enough to do a whole channel around it. Maybe to have bits and pieces of it within a brand, within a channel, but not a whole channel and brand around it. And I realized my heart is really to impact people, particularly millennial Christian women, between the ages of like 25 to like 35. That's my sweet spot. That's my heart. I want to impact them and their faith, encourage them with Christ, with realistic encouraging, relevant advice that is, relevant to today, the stuff that we face today, the conversations that we need to be having or that we have behind the scenes that we're too scared to say in public. I want them to do good in their business, to have purpose-based business. I want them to thrive in their life, get your health right, get your mind right, get your soul in order, get your friendships together, have better relationships, romantic and platonic. Like that, I'm that big sis or that like bestie. Like that's who I am. That's who I care to talk to. Primarily, I talk to women of all ages. I have some older women that follow me, some younger teenage girls that follow me, but that's like my heart, and so that's why I started transitioning to talking head videos. And with that comes a change in interest, because some people, I don't think I've lost subscribers. Yeah, I don't think I've had anyone unsubscribe from my channel along this journey. No, I'm lying. I have had months where maybe like one or two people will show as unsubscribed and they come back. I don't know if that's YouTube or if people are leaving and other people are joining, but that's not common. It has happened though. And but if people don't unsubscribe, they just don't tune in anymore. They're like, I was here for the hair and makeup. She's giving, motivational talks now. I don't want to hear that. Like, or she's doing a Bible study. Like, I don't really care to hear that right now. Like, they're just in a different space, and that's okay. I realize that it's not my timing or my strength. God is going to do his thing in his time. That part, yeah, I know you can relate for sure. God reminds me that I'm here for him. I would quit every week if it weren't for his grace. For real, I'm like, God, I'm doing this because you told me to, but it's not giving. Yeah, audiences change, and so when Sean Cannell and the Think Media team brought that up, I was like, that's a good point. And so I was like, well, now this is something I'm still teetering on. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily still upload on this channel. Right now I've archived a bunch of videos that I feel don't align with where I want to go, and are not helping my channel. Even if the views were good, if it was like random or I felt like it was just off brand, I archived it. And I'm still debating, do I want to start a new channel or not? The reason being, which would tie back into the podcasting, is I am going to start a podcast. I'm not starting it this year, though. It's going to be my 2023 release. Like, boom, we coming up the gate swinging, new podcast. Won't he do it? One, because my family has to move. Our lease is ending soon. I don't want to set up a whole studio just to break it down and not be able to film, or tape a podcast. Well, film too. Two, I need time to really think about like, what is it going to be titled? What am I going to be talking about? Is it going to be eclectic? Is it going to be niche? Like, what are we going to be doing? Is it going to be, whatever. So I need time for that. And I want to get through the holidays. And honestly, the rest of my year is planned out with YouTube. And so I'm like, okay, I'm good with the YouTube right now. Let me focus on that. And then we'll debate, and not even debate, but by then I'll would have figured out like, will I start a whole new channel or will I just keep this and just change content altogether? So that's pretty much where I'm at. My two ideas right now. So to answer your question, sorry for those who came for the tea, I'm not quitting YouTube. Okay. I might be quitting this channel if that's what I feel led to do and starting a whole new channel, because at this point, I realize YouTube is not going to be my bread and butter. YouTube is going to be something that's in the background growing, and it's just a small facet of my larger brand. But I just don't care enough about it in the sense of like, I got to make the money off of YouTube. Like, I'm going to put out what I feel like putting out when I feel like putting it out. And that's just that on that, when it comes to YouTube. So I might end up quitting this channel, but you will see me on YouTube. That won't be decided until the new year. Like I said, what I'm basically seeing my future channel looking like, whether it's this channel or another one, is that it's going to be a visual representation, can't even speak, of my podcast. So like how Shay has, she tapes her podcast, you see her behind the mic, but she's also podcasting at the same time, and like tons of other channels do. That's going to be me, but it's also going to have a talk show flair, because one thing I realized is that I really enjoy the guest interviews, and you guys obviously really enjoy them too. I also want to be a platform that gives light to other women and their brands and their expertise. I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. I don't care to act like I do. I want you guys to come on here and share your expertise. I want you guys to come on here and share your knowledge. And then that spares me having to come up with an agenda, okay? Like I come up with the questions. I invite you. We talk. We kick it. You get to, promote yourself. I get to share your knowledge with my audience, and all is well. It's a win-win, and so that's really what it's going to be. So you'll probably see, not probably, this is what I'm thinking. Well, let me say probably, because I might change my mind. Who knows? I'm still like I said, brainstorming. But what I'm thinking is that, like I said, you're going to see the visual representation of the podcast. And then sprinkled in between there is going to be talk show type episodes like you've seen with the guest series. I don't know if that's going to translate to me uploading twice a week. If that's going to translate to me uploading once a week with maybe a special talk show here or there, or if the talk show episodes will replace the podcast episode. I don't know, but that's what you're going to see on my channel. And then Christian's channel is going to be the vlogs, like I said, showing the journey of single motherhood, homeschooling him, all things Christian. Everything revolving around Christian and me is going to be on Christian's channel. And then my mom's channel is going to be all your food needs, home decor, all that good stuff, family-friendly budgets around groceries and things like that. Like that, my mom's going to be helping with all of that. So, excuse me, you can find my mom's channel linked on my channel tab. You can find Christian's channel in the description box. It's all things Christian. Like I said, there's no banner on it yet. There's nothing there. It looks sketchy, but I promise you it is his channel. I just have to upload the videos. And Mama Martin's Kitchen, you'll see it. There's videos on there. She will be coming back before the end of the year too. Next month, specifically because we want to get these holiday recipes out. We have a lot of stuff to put out, and so we got to do like a update video for her, a live stream, let y'all know what's been going on because my mom's been dealing with her own stuff. And yeah, we just be coming back swinging. So not quitting YouTube, but you might see a new channel, and I'll let you guys know again. Join the newsletter so you get the updates, VIP updates. But I feel like that's best for me because I'm also in a stage where I'm trying to consolidate. I don't want to be doing 1,000,001 things. So if I do a podcast, y'all just finna see that podcast on here. And then I might throw in a talk show. And you're going to see clips from that podcast on my social media. Like, everything's going to be repurposed. Everything, yes, if you follow me on all platforms, it might be repetitive, but it is what it is. Like, I don't have the bandwidth to be doing a bunch of different stuff. The only platform where you'll see completely different stuff is honestly my TikTok, because TikTok for me is just comic relief. That's just where I get to be goofy and silly and just show my personality. I don't use it for business. Like I might share stuff on there, business related or community related or whatever, but I don't have like a strategy for TikTok. I just go on there to have a good time and cut up. But Facebook, that's business. So if you follow me there, you're going to see the same things more than likely. Instagram, same thing. YouTube, and of course, if you follow me on LinkedIn, I don't share stuff on there. But yeah, so that's basically what's going on with me. That's basically the update. I'm trying to think real quick if I have any other updates. I feel like I said I was going to talk about something and I'm not talking about it. I felt like I said I was going to say something about my birthday, and now I forgot what I was going to say about my birthday because I wrote it down like in my notes. It says talk about your birthday, but I'm like, what was I going to say? Because normally I put like a little blurb to let me know like this is what you're going to say about that, but I didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say that in the notes. So I don't know. Good night, Yasmin. No problem. Go ahead and relax. I know you're done cleaning and it's about that time. But yeah, so those are the updates, y'all. New merch, new podcast coming. Join the Single Women's Group if you're a part of it. We have in-person meetups. Oh, that's what I forgot to say too. October, we're meeting in person. Gonna do like a fall-like event, probably fall festival, or if I could find apple picking nearby, or just something fall-like. November, we're gonna go see Black Panther 2 and go to dinner. And then Christmas, December, we're gonna have an outing, but also a virtual event. So we busy, we doing stuff. Join the group. Keep an eye for the podcast, join the newsletter so you can help me design the t-shirts and all that good stuff. And just keep an eye out for all the changes coming up, because there's definitely a lot of changes coming up and I feel like it's needed. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. When the podcast starts, Lord willing, I will have my new studio space set up. I have my whole vision in my mind of how I want it to look. Super excited. Like my background, everything's going to be lit. Okay, I got to get my microphone. It's going up. It's going up. So I'm excited, but I am back. Like I said, for the rest of this year. Next month is all domestic violence awareness stuff. For Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I will be talking about spiritual abuse in that month, even though it's not necessarily domestic violence, but it does tie in. Hopefully I can get some interviewees. I have some people I got to reach out to. Hopefully they can do it. November is going to be all about gratitude and how that ties into the Bible and how it's a command. And then December is, I think I'm talking about Advent and something else. I forgot. But this year is basically planned out. So y'all just stay tuned. we'll see how things go. I'll keep you updated. But oh, another thing too, I was gonna say the reason too why I'm also being more flexible on my YouTube now is because recently in the last week, and then after this, I'll let you guys go because I've been talking way too long. In the last like week or two, I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos come up from people I follow and don't follow, just talking about like giving yourself the flexibility as a creator to not be so like I got to do this, I got to do that, because a lot of YouTube experts especially have said that the old advice, and I know this for a fact, has been to be like, upload consistently to grow. You got to be consistent, you got to be consistent, you got to keep showing up to grow. And what they're saying is like you got to be consistent and have a schedule, but you also need to give yourself room to just like flow. So it's like if you are in a space, and this is for my fellow creators, whether it's YouTube or anything else, if you're in a space where you feel like you're in a chokehold by the schedule, like I gotta show up, I gotta post something, it's time for you to take a break. If you're in a space where you literally feel like you can't try any new techniques of editing, you can't try any new thumbnail designs, you can't try, anything new, like you just feel like you gotta produce, you're on this hamster wheel, take a step back. If you don't have the passion, take a step back. Don't just produce just to produce. It's better for you to take a break and show up every once in a while with a banger piece of content than to keep showing up and you're just showing up. Like, like if you feel the need to show up and you have something passionate, to share or whatever, sure. But if it's not, I literally was on a webinar right before this live tonight that was talking about that same thing, where it's like, you got to be passionate about it. So if you're just producing just to produce, if you're tired and you're like, I don't even feel like doing this, like take the break. It's okay. And so that's where YouTube is for me. It's not something that is a priority for me. And this is something I also used to share with my consulting clients. Like, you can tell where God wants you to focus, one, where he gives you the grace to perform. And yes, we do have to perform consistently beyond our emotions and all that, but you could tell where the extra oil is from where the grace is, where the passion is attached, and where the doors are opening. And right now, that is the single women's group for me. I have the passion for it, I have the grace for it, the doors and opportunities are opening, and the fire is there. So everything else in my life comes basically after that. But just know, like, YouTube is important because I know I have a mission to be here. But if there's something that needs to be kicked off the schedule, YouTube's gonna be first. Like, that's just what it is for me in this season. And I'm gonna holler at y'all next week. Like, that's just, or whatever, that's just that's where it is. All the other stuff, like, that's more priority, especially that group, and eventually, the merch. So that's where I'm at with it. Thanks for listening to my life update, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Next week, I will be talking about signs it's time to leave your church, and signs to find a new church. This is something I went through this year. I'm still kind of in the process on the tail end, but it's going to be good. It's going to be juicy, and it's going to be informative. So make sure that you're here next week. I'm here every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Just make it a habit. Make sure your notifications are on, but make it a habit to pop in here at 9 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. And that's why you need to join the newsletter too, because if I can't make it, I send out a little notice like, hey, won't be live tonight. So at least you know. But anyways, y'all, have a good night. Have a great weekend. This mosquito is blowing me right now because it's flying in my room. I'm going to see y'all next week for the live. And then after that, we'll have our live prayer. I'm going to just keep trucking along into the series. Be safe whatever you're doing this weekend. And I will see y'all later. Bye. Love you.